Hello, welcome. Today we are going to be designing a student meeting table. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can guys see me go through the process of designing this table in Autodesk Inventor. So here we go. Right, so I have a picture of what this table should look like right down here. Okay, so we're going to have a 42-inch almost square with a little half moon over here out to 54 inches. It's going to be 36 inches wide and about this is something we could debate whether it's going to be 1 inch or thicker. We don't need to move this table a lot. So it can be fairly thick. So we could play around with that thickness here. This is probably going to depend on what type of wood we have for this build. Now we wanted to make 2 of these, so we will see what sort of wood we have, and I think that 1 inch may change to something else that's very easy to do later on. But let's just get the ultimate shape down right away. This is going to be a hardwood top, not a plywood top. And then the base is going to have some sort of rectangular structure so that we can lift this table up to 42 inches total height, that 1 inch being not on top of the 42 inches, but part of the 42 inches. So those are the restraints or constraints that we have. So let's go ahead and build this top right away. That'll probably be the easiest thing. And so we just need a 36 by 42, adding on to 54 after that. So 36 by 42. So let's do it. Into Autodesk Inventor. New, we're going to go standard part. Always takes a little bit for that first one to pop up. Let's start a sketch down here. We're going to make 2 rectangles right away. Okay. We're going to make one 36 inches by 42 inches. Okay. And then we're going to make another one 32 by 54. All right. Oh, did I mean 36? Let's get back to our picture here. 36, yep, sorry about that, 36. So let me make this 36. Okay, and then I'm gonna add an arc. It goes from right here to right here and on out to the middle point right there. And let's make some of these lines then construction lines. Construction line, click off, and then click over to construction line, click off, click over to construction line, and then this one right here is going to be, let's pull this dimension out first, and then we'll make this line right here a construction line as well. Come on. Construction. So what should extrude then is the rest, which is exactly what we want for our tabletop. We're going to extrude this up to, we're just going to call it 1 inch high right now. There it is. And then go OK. This will be either made out of oak or pine boards that are joined together. So the maplewood one looks like it's joined together boards right now. So that's what I'm going to put on there. Okay, so that's our maplewood top. So file, save as. Oh, I should have saved this as a. Let's do this again. Let's put this on our desktop. We're going to do table top. We'll go save. This is what we're going to do. I forgot to make a project first. I should have made a project. Shame on me. New single user project. We're going to call it student. I want to call it gathering. Let's call it a group work table. Group work table, because this is ultimately what it's for. Okay, we're going to go to my desktop. We're going to create a new folder called group work table. Okay. Group work table, okay, and then finish. done. And then this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my desktop, and here is my tabletop. I'm going to put it in the group work table. And now I should be good to go back into Autodesk Inventor and make our next part. Okay, so our next part is going to be part of this base. Now this base down here, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to create 4 walls. Now I don't have any dimensions for my group about this base and how wide it should be, how deep it should be, that sort of thing. So I'm going to completely go off the cuff here and figure this out on my own. 54 inches is 4.5 feet. Okay, so I think if I made this 2 feet deep, that would be well enough. So what I want to do is make essentially 2 wall sections that are 2 feet deep and then side it with some plywood. Okay, with some eventually some connecting pieces in between over here. So let's see if we can go ahead and do that. It shouldn't be terribly difficult, but something that we want to make sure that we do right. Okay. I would want to, if we're going to sheathe this whole thing with plywood, I'd probably leave the back open so that we can drill up through here and connect the top. That would be my hope. Okay. Then if we have this big enough as well, we probably don't need some sort of supporting piece over here that this would be connected to a wall somewhere, right? So we probably wouldn't need this supporting piece right there. So overall, we want it 42 inches tall. We have an inch of that already, so I'm going to make these pieces 41 inches. They're going to be made out of 2x4s. So let's make a 41-inch long 2x4 as our next piece. Standard inch, just to make sure I'm an inch. I'm pretty sure I was an inch before. But a 2x4, of course, has a cross-section dimension of 3.5. Let's make this top one 1.5 by 3.5, not actually 2x4. And then extrude it 41 inches long. Okay. And then I know from experience that a good look for a 2x4 is with birch. That looks like a 2x4 if you ask me. Other than not having the rounded edges, but other than that, we should be okay. Okay, so we're gonna go File, Save As. So there's my tabletop in my group work table. So these are gonna be the basically leg frames, or the, I'm gonna call this 41-inch 2x4. Then I know what the heck it is. If I can reuse it later, great. If I can't, that's okay. Okay, so next for my wall section, we're gonna be making is these 2 sides over here. So now I want this to be, like I said, 24 inches long, right? So if I want those 24 inches long, I have a 2x4 here and a 2x4 here. They both have a width of 1.5 inches, so that's 3 inches. 24 minus 3 inches, I want a 21-inch long 2x4. So let's make another one. File. We're just going to go Save As. Instead of 41 inches, I want 21 inches. So I go Save, and then I'm going to change the extrusion to 21 inches. So there it is. Save. And now I'm going to make an assembly. I've got a number of things that I can assemble here. So let's go Create. I think I made a part. My bad. File, New. We want an assembly. So standard inch assembly. Okay, so I'm going to go place a 21-inch one. And let's place 2 41-inch ones right away. 41, 41. Okay, so this is the one that's in the right orientation, almost in the right orientation for me right now. Let's get this just a little bit different. So what I want to do is I am going to mate here with right there. I'm going to apply, and then I'm going to flush the tops and these bottoms right there, apply, okay? And then let's do the exact same thing to this side. So to right there, apply. Of course, I want to flush the tops. However, I want to flush this side with this side. Hit apply, didn't like that. Oh, I can just apply, I can just flush the other side. Here we go, easy enough. Flush, flush, apply, okay? So now these are gonna be standing up, so I kind of have this in the wrong orientation. So let's just go right there. Let's call this the front. So reset as the front, and then reset this as the home. Okay, now I need a couple more of these. I'm probably gonna want, well, let's just put 3 of them right away. So I'm gonna go mate here to there. I'm going to then flush the tops and the sides. Okay, so do the exact same thing here, or almost the exact same thing. Apply, then we'll just flush the fronts, and then we'll move them where we want to move them later. Oops, let me just do undo real quick. Constrain, I just want to flush here with here, and then hit apply. And then I'm gonna go here, do the exact same thing. Apply again. I don't care how these are spaced right now, so I'm just gonna put them wherever. So that should be just fine. Okay, easy enough. Now I need 2 of those sections, so copy, paste. Great, I have 2 of those sections. All right. Let's make this one immovable, grounded. So I can't move this now, all right? And then what I wanna do is I want to also constrain these together. However, I don't want them to be that far. So let's figure out how far away the wall section here and a wall section there, how far away they should be apart. They should probably be apart, this is a 36-inch table. They should probably only be apart about 12 inches or so, probably less than 12 inches because I have 3.5 inches here and 3.5 inches there, that's 7 inches. So let's make them apart by 5 inches. So let's type in 5, great. And then we'll flush up those sides, apply, and then flush up the tops, apply, okay? So now, what do I use here to kind of combine them together? Well, I mean, I could use a number of things and they'd all be pretty easy to figure out. There's plenty of space to put some siding on here, whatever siding we choose, whatever sort of plywood we choose to put on there. And that'll kind of depend on just based on what we have, right? Again, I think the back should be open so that we have an ability to kind of screw up through this board and into the tabletop. But we can just put some cut off pieces of wood here, and how long would those be? So if we measured from this line to this line, it should be exactly 12 inches, right? Yep. So let's take a 2x4 and make it 12 inches long. So this is my 21-inch one. I'm just going to go File, Save As instead of 21 inches. I'll go 12-inch 2x4, save. And then I'm going to just change up the extrusion to 12 inches. Go OK, File, Save. And now I have a 12-inch one. I can go place. Here we go. So probably, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just do 4 of them for right now. Okay, so we're going to go here, apply, and then we're going to go flush here and here. That works for me. And then what we should do is, let's just do the other ones right away. So that was a mate, and this is a flush. Okay, hit apply first. Mate down here, apply, and then a flush. With this side, apply. Don't worry, that looks bad right down. We'll change it. Right there, apply, and then flush. Okay, and now let's just make sure these are probably stuck to the side here, just so we can get a nice 45 degrees. So we're just mating these to the side very easily. Well, I would probably just use nails here. It's probably best at this point. There, and then this one right down here, just need to pull it. And then just a mate. So there it is. There's our wall section, 2 wall sections stuck together so that we have a nice square rectangular piece that we can now sheathe with plywood. So let's talk about sheathing that with plywood. It's not terribly difficult. We would want to make some 45-degree sections so that we overlap just a little bit. Okay, so this surface right here, if we inspect and measure, has a width of 24 and a height of, should be 41, right? 24 by 41. So we would need 2 sections of plywood that are 24 by 41. Okay, and 24 inches now, it's probably not the best to make 24-inch sections, but we'll be okay. 41, so let's just go File, Save As. Sorry, let's save the assembly. So yeah, group work. Table assembly. Save. Let's go File, New. Standard inch. We're going to make a section that is, let's say we're going to use 1/2-inch plywood. Okay, so let's talk about that. Making let's show you what the 45 degrees means. Okay, so we wanted it 41 inches tall by 24 inches wide. Again, not a great thing. We should probably bring that down from 24 inches so we can use our plywood a little bit better. Yeah, in fact, let's do that right now. So watch this. Instead of 24, I only need to change one thing. We're going to bring this extrusion down to, instead of 21 inches, we're going to make it, let's just call it 20. Okay. Save. Return. Great. So now you probably didn't even notice anything happening, but from here to here now is 23 inches. Okay, great. 23 inches. So we have a 23-inch panel. Okay, but we want to be able to cover up a 1/2 inch of plywood on each side. Actually, just on one side. So I'm going to add a 1/2 inch of plywood to that side. That's it. That's the only change I'm going to make, and then I'll put a 45-degree chamfer along that side, and you'll see how this fits up. Okay, so I'm going to extrude this. We're going to use 1/2 inch plywood, so 0.5. There it is. Let's just make it some sort of generic plywood. It's called oak. Sure, that looks fine. And now a chamfer of 45 degrees, but we are going to chamfer it by 1/2 inch along this side. So you see how that goes? We're just going to cut that little corner off. Very easy cut on the table saw. We're going to hit apply. Okay. We're going to File, Save As. We're going to, so I would call this big side plywood, big side plywood. Okay, great. And then our other one is 12 inches. So we're just going to go File, Save As again, because we have a lot of what we need. We're just going to call this small side plywood. And we just need one of these. Okay, so there it is. Just a couple things we need to change here. So instead of 23.5, we have 12 inches. But here we need to miter both sides. So I'm going to add plus 1/2 inch times 2, or just add an inch. So we should be 13 inches. Okay, so now I still have that 45 degree on that side, I'm going to make the exact same thing. 1/2 inch. If I zoom, I don't even need to zoom in. There it is right there. Apply, cancel, hit save. And now let's go back to our assembly here and put this all together. So I'm going to go place, and I'm just going to take big side, small side. I'm going to grab them both and hit OK. This one I need to copy and paste again. Great. This one right here, we're going to put this on first as it's kind of like that, as a mate. Then we're going to flush the tops. Okay, apply. Now I'm just going to leave it like this. We're going to see why here in a minute, but we're going to do the same thing, constraint mate right there. Let's just see where that edge is. Great, that edge is right there, perfect. We're going to hit apply. We're going to go flush. I can flush to just this top, that's fine. And now I'm going to mate both right here. I want to mate that with right there. Apply. I don't know why they didn't go together for me. Oh, okay, so they do slip past one another. Weird. So that will be easily rectified when I go flush in the back. Flush, okay. And now when we hit home, you should see this all nice and wrapped around. So you guys kind of see what I'm doing here now. So what I'm gonna do is just do this back one the exact same way, put the tabletop on, and we are done. So here we go. We have the right side there, perfect. Apply. We're gonna flush the top here with the top here. And then I don't need to do anything on the sides. I'm just gonna flush this back, and it should look just perfect. So the back is free and clear for us to drill up and into the tabletop. This is nice and wrapped around, looks really slick. Now what you may want to put on here yet, and this is for my group that is designing this, is some sort of footrest, right? So these going to kind of be high chairs where people may not be able to touch the ground with their feet. So having some sort of footrest may be really helpful over here. So you may want to think about what you could put over there for that and how you would design that. But let's put the tabletop on and call it good. So tabletop right here. Oops. There we go, constraint. We're just going to mate these, apply. So now I want to flush this back with this back, and then I need to figure out like how far back. So I made this 24 inches, and this is 54 inches, so that's 30 inches. Let's do exactly halfway, and we'll call it 15. And I should do a negative 50. So I need to bring it back. So that's exactly halfway. Perfect. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go flush here with this side. And if I look over there, this is 12 inches. This is 36 inches. So I'm going to make this 12 on each side. So again, negative 12, apply. And here it is. Actually, it's not exactly 12 inches. It's 13. It's 13 wide, so I should have done that last one. Instead of by 12 inches, I should have done it by, I believe, my head's in the way, minus 12 and a half. Let's see if that's the right way. So if I go, okay, nope, that went too much the other way. So this needs to be by 11 and a half. 11 and a half, yep. There it is, perfectly halfway in between. All right, so that should be it. If you have any questions about how we made this or how it's going to be put together, please let me know. And if you have any things that you would like to change about it, let me know, because this is definitely not complete. I don't think there's definitely some things to think about as far as size, as far as if we like that siding, if there should be some sort of foot rest on here. Lots of things to think about here. So let me know for today's assignment, and we can talk to you later. Thanks. Oh, stop sharing. There it is.